say that it feels right.
Hey guys, it's the Matrix here. Welcome back to some more Lonely Afternoons. And today we are going to continue off from where we left off in the last episode. And this is just a demo, so I don't know how much longer this episode is going to last for. Might be a really short episode, and it might last throughout the rest of the day, I don't know. But it is supposed to release soon, so we might have to check that full game out once it comes out. But yeah, we left off as we were just now getting ready to eat lunch and stuff, I believe. And I have to recap, as it's been a couple days since I last touched this game for myself. But yeah, we were making friends in the last episode, I believe, and doing an okay job at it, I think. Oh, and also, if you guys haven't noticed already, I upgraded my chair back here, as you guys can see. It is a best office chair, if I do believe so. I'll leave a link to it if I can find it through Amazon or something. I'm not too sure. It was like $100 on Amazon, so pretty good price for a chair. But enough of the chair. On to the actual episode. I followed some students in the year below to reach the canteen. It's removed from the main 3 buildings by a short path. Okay. After the strange sophistication of surreal, I'm slightly let down when it turns out to be a simple metal rectangle of a building. There are a few vending machines outside the main door advertising off-brand Citrum sodas and snacks. Again, struggling with my words as always. Ooh, this is a lovely room. Inside, I'm greeted by a warm hubbub of conversation. There's a clear divide in where each year group sits, and I get familiar anxiety over which place it would be appropriate for me to join. Of course, the big place of where you sit for the remaining year. It's not like you can change your place once you sit. You have to sit there. I joined the queue, peering over people's heads to see what's on over. Steaming pierogi, chicken strips, and golden crust, meatloaf, corn on the cob, burgers, and 100 other sides and condiments. Man, I wish my school had that stuff. The menu is far above what I've seen in any other school. Just another item in my growing list of St. Sirtrum's peculiarities. I swear I count more food items than students, oh boy. I take one of the blue trays and load it up with a sample of everything. The lunch ladies look at me with vague disinterest and tell me to hurry along. Gripping my tray tight to my chest, I walk down the aisle. I can see Cadence, the name I can never get right, the girl from English, and Adriana, the girl from History, at the very back row, along with some other people whose face vaguely ring a bell. There's an empty seat besides. I sigh, glasses kid. I grit my teeth and move for it. Oh boy. Swish! A flutter of brown hair whacks me in the face. I catch a glimpse of green in her eyes and before either of us can move. Crash. Clatter. Shake. Shook. Both I and the girl sit on the floor covered head and toe in gravy. Well, that's just great. That's another nice way to meet someone. I rub my head in anguish with where her tray decked me. Her can of St. Citrum's lemonade pops open and starts spinning like a siren calling attention to us. The spew of foam drenches us. We both get up at the same time. I immediately straighten up and adopt a strict face. She wraps her arms around herself and closes off. I can feel about 20 eyes on our backs. Oh boy. I better make this seem like nothing. I still have some change in my pocket. I owe her that much. This is terrible. I need to move away before someone starts laughing. I guess the cool thing to do would be to make it seem like it's nothing, right? I stick my hands on my hips and start laughing far too loud. I hear people shuffling around in their stools to have a look at me. Ha ha ha. I don't stop making eye contact with only the ceiling. I calmly pick up the taters out of my lunch and try to sit down next to the glasses kid. He shrinks away. Clearly me sitting next to him is an insult to his social standing. Dude, do you have to sit here? Everyone goes back to eating and I finally relax. From the corner of my eye, I see the girl I collided with calmly pick up her lunch and now completely empty can of soda and continue to eat her seat through the swamp of food we created. She sits down opposite some girl who immediately starts blabbing to her. Disinterested in the conversation, she fixates her eyes on me. I can't take a single bite of food without feeling the burn of her gaze on my skull. Oh boy. Despite pretending I don't exist to protect what little image they have for the first half of lunch, I find out Vlad with the glasses and George with the chins aren't too bad a pair. They seemed interested in me, and they are both endearing in their own sort of slightly mentally disturbed ways. We talked about the school and argue about the existence of Saint Syndrome, which ends with George screaming Corthians at a very angry Vlad. It's probably the most fun I've had in years. Eventually the topic turns to my collision. Vlad, oh, don't worry about Juliet. Tika, well, I still feel pretty terrible. Vlad laughs. Vlad, you could have thrown your lunch at her and she wouldn't even blink. How do you know? George and I tried to court her unsuccessfully for about half a year each. I lean in curiously. Oh yeah, how'd that go? We might as well have just thrown roses at the wall. So she's not talkative? She's anything but. One time for her birthday, all the girls in our class baked her a cake. Really nice one too. 3 layers chocolate sprinkles. They give it to her during the lunch period. She takes it, gives them $5 and walks off without a word. The pair starts howling in laughter at the memory. I can only stare at her with a further odd sort of interest. Does he mean that what just happened didn't mean anything to her? Good question, I guess. The rest of the day is a blur. I take minimal notes in both biology and French. After my rather exciting first few hours at St. Syndrome, the monotony of regular classes hits me hard. It's fully dark by the time the 4th bell rings. The rush of students is slower and the chatting quieter as we all move down the stairs. Yawning and stretching, I overhear some places to meet up or hang out, but honestly I'm beat. And not invited, of course, as always. The paths looping around the campus are lined with street lamps that are now ablaze with bright orange lights. It staves off the chill of the wind and makes everyone look warm and happy. I ask around until I know the way to the male dorm and set down the appropriate path. Once again, it's tight and held in by a corridor of trees. An identical path leading to the female dorm sits parallel to the male. The trees providing some cover of modesty. Leaves scatter down and fly past me with every brush of the breeze. It's a 5-minute walk and I'm one of the only people on the path. I think everyone else took their last 2 hours before curfew to duck into town. Okay, can I please speak? I walk alongside some kid with his nose stuck in a math textbook. The tread on his face makes me feel lucky that my exams are well over half a year away. Oh boy. Eventually the building swings into view. It's large and square with a very straight face. Besides the glow from the reception, most of the windows are still blacked out. Okay. I move towards the door and push. The warm air from inside hits me and I shiver. Snippets of a good conversation catch my attention and I turn my head. A young couple stand a few feet away from me. The girl dressed head to toe in pink. Her cheeks are completely flushed. I'm not sure whether from the cold or current company. She chats with her boyfriend for only a few minutes, but enjoys every second. They move in for a quick kiss. She's shorter than him and has to stand on her toes. So I'm not gonna go there. Okay, when they pull apart, a sheer cloud of steam rises from where they were. I shake my head and step aside. Oh, it seems lonely. I feel a pang of loneliness. Oh, hey, how did I guess it? I feel a pang of loneliness walking up the steps in the dreaded premise of the school dance invades my mind again. St. Syndrome isn't the first school I've boarded in, but it's by far not what I've grown used to. The decor isn't hollow and patronizing, no twinkling white walls with an inspirational poster and comic stands on everyone's door. No flickering cheap blue lights. It's far richer in character, fluffy red carpets and cream painted walls. The lights and bulbs that swing around in red shades not long for instance. It brings to mind some high-end hotel rather than a high school dorm. I wonder what the kids here are paying and feel a twang of shame at where my own scholarship came from. Alright, I found my door at 33 and go in. 33, that's easy to remember. There's a bookshelf, a neat wooden desk, and a small well-made bed with a single pillow on top. Okay, not the most luxurious, but my suitcases are tucked under it and the rest of my school books have been delivered as well. I give them a quick flick through before sticking my head out the window. The view I'm given is of the trees and nothing past them. At Tisk, I feel slightly let down. In the dark, a single burning light at the top of Surfield stands out and I wonder who's still working. Okay. That was a kind of a mouthful to say. Oh, dot dot. You can't be doing this dot 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 to me thing. I think that the game's over, and then you make me do that dot 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 thing. Thanks for playing. Thank you for playing the Lonely Afternoons demo. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll continue to support the game after its release. Love the shikinami-studios team. Alright, so that's who created the game, and I believe it's gonna be out on the 23rd, so we might have to check that out once it is like fully released. But yeah, this game is pretty cool so far. You know, it's got its stuff, and even though I'm a little bit confused since I'm not like in Japan or anything, I don't know how the school system works there. But yeah, that is Lonely Afternoons demo. We might come back to check out the full game. We might not. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes after this. And yeah, but for now, that's gonna be it for me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the remainder of this episode, the Lonely Afternoons demo. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching. And from It's the Matrix, I will see you all in the next episode. Peace out, guys.